So you've got it, that one brilliant idea for an iPhone app that could totally change the game for your business. That's the fun part, right? But how do you actually turn that spark into a real working app? Well, it all boils down to finding the perfect team to build it, and today we're going to break down the exact strategy to do just that.
This right here is where so many amazing ideas get stuck. You've got the inspiration, but the road ahead? It looks complicated. You know you need to hire developers, but with all the options out there, where do you even start?
Let's just get this straight from the jump. This isn't just about hiring someone to write code. It's about finding a true partner. The team you pick is honestly the single biggest factor in whether your app takes off in the App Store or just gets lost. This one decision sets the stage for everything else.
Okay, so we've broken this down into 5 simple steps. We're going to start with your why, then we'll get into doing your homework, talk about why the user experience is king, how to forge a real partnership, and finally, how to plan for what happens after the launch. All right, let's dive into section 1, starting with your why. Before you even think about talking to a developer, the most critical work has to happen with you and your team. You've got to get crystal clear on what your app's core purpose is and exactly what you need it to accomplish. So ask yourself, what is this app really for? Is it a new way to drive sales? Is it about building a community and keeping your customers engaged? Or are you offering a totally new service? You have to nail this down. And once you know the why, you need to set goals you can actually measure. These aren't just for you. These are the benchmarks a development partner needs to really understand your vision and build toward it.
Okay, once you have that clear vision, it's time to start looking. Welcome to section 2, do your homework. This is where you really have to roll up your sleeves and figure out who the real pros are and who's just faking it.
Your research really needs to hit 3 key areas. First, you got to check out their portfolio. Have they built apps that look and feel like what you're imagining? Does their style even match your brand? Second, what's their experience? A team that's worked in your industry before is going to get the unique challenges you face. And third, and this one is huge, you have to read what their past clients are saying. And this is exactly why you read the reviews. Can you imagine seeing feedback like this? Bugs, missed deadlines, communication nightmares? I mean, these are gigantic red flags. Client reviews are pretty much the most honest look you're going to get into how a company really operates and if they can actually deliver what they promise. Which brings us right into section 3. See, a great partner doesn't just build an app that works. They build an app that people love to use. That's all about the user interface, or UI, and the user experience, or UX. This is the magic ingredient that separates the apps we use once and forget from the ones we can't imagine living without. I mean, think about it. A great user experience just feels effortless. You know exactly where to tap without even thinking, but a poor UX? It's confusing, it's frustrating, and it just makes you want to delete the app. You have got to find a partner who is completely obsessed with getting this part right. And to make sure they can actually deliver that great experience, you need to ask some key technical questions. Are they using the latest and greatest from Apple, like Swift and Xcode? Can they promise your app will look amazing on every single iPhone model out there? And maybe most importantly, what does their process look like? A team that has a clear plan for designing, testing, and deploying is a team you can trust. Having a great process is a sign of something even more important, which brings us to section 4, forging a strong partnership. You've checked out their skills, now it's time to see if the relationship is a good fit. This has to be way more than just a transaction. It's a real collaboration. What you're looking for is a true partner, and what that means is a team that communicates clearly, that's transparent about how they work, and that's just as invested in your app's success as you are. They should really feel like an extension of your own team. Now, a huge part of any partnership is, of course, agreeing on the price. You're probably going to see a few different models. A fixed price deal is great if you know exactly what you want and it's not going to change, but it's not very flexible. Hourly rates give you that flexibility, but you have to watch them like a hawk so your budget doesn't get out of control. And milestone-based payments are awesome for big projects, but you have to make sure those milestones are defined perfectly. Knowing the pros and cons here is going to help you pick the right fit. And listen, whatever model you end up choosing, this part is 100% non-negotiable. Read the contract. Read every single word, the timelines, the specific deliverables, the payment schedule. It all matters. A solid contract protects everybody and stops those painful misunderstandings later on.
And that leads us to our final crucial section, planning for life after your app is live in the App Store, because launching your app isn't the finish line. Oh no, it's just the starting gun. This is a question you absolutely must ask any team you're considering. An app isn't something you just launch and forget about. It needs care. Bugs will pop up, Apple will release new versions of iOS, and sooner or later you're going to want to add new features. So who's going to handle all that? A great partner will have solid answers for all these post-launch essentials. They should have a clear plan for ongoing support, for future updates, and for making sure your app doesn't break every time a new iPhone comes out. This is what makes sure your investment stays valuable and relevant for years.
So let's wrap this all up with your strategic checklist. Number 1, always start by defining your purpose. 2, vet their portfolio, their experience, and especially their reviews. 3, do not compromise. Insist on an amazing user experience. 4, focus on building a real partnership, not just signing a contract. And 5, always plan for what happens after launch.
In the end, it really all comes down to this one question. Building a successful app is so much more than just writing code. It's about strategy, it's about collaboration, and it's about sharing a vision. So when you go out there to find your team, remember, don't just look for a coder, look for a partner who's going to help you win.